Cousins, obviously you've got Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be tough. I don't really know if I want to bet on anyone else. I guess you could look at Jared Goff at less than 2-1. You've got Jordan Love. Now that one is, if you think the Packers are going to be good, I think that you could actually get some value on him at 7-1. But Justin Fields, I mean, can we just scratch him off the list? Do we really think that he's just going to evolve into a passing machine all of a sudden? I'm not saying that he won't eventually. Most likely he won't, but it's not going to be this season. So at 25-1, don't light your money on fire, ladies and gentlemen. That just doesn't seem like a good bet to me.
Yeah, Jordan Love seems to be the approach I would take, just because of the possibilities, right? There is a higher ceiling, I think. If all of a sudden, if Matt LaFleur's offense, if he learned anything from Aaron Rodgers and he's able to sort of translate that into a high octane kind of offense, they've got some interesting new pieces in Green Bay. I think Kirk Cousins at minus money. No, thank you. Jared Goff's interesting. Again, I don't think it's enough of a value. I think Jordan Love, maybe, treat yourself a little coffee money there. Maybe, get yourself a double latte, extra pump there with a twist or something, and put that on Jordan Love. Why not? I think Green Bay is going to be one of the most fascinating stories in the NFL, and Jordan Love, especially if he can actually produce any kind of offense. I think they're going to score a lot of points.
That whole situation with the Bucs is getting on my nerves. Todd Bowles still being so secretive about who's going to be the starting quarterback. For one, I could care less. If it's Baker or Kyle Trask, I don't care who it is. Like, what are you doing here? Yeah, just go ahead. Name one. Ugh. Desmond Ridder. So some people are really high on the Falcons, but I just don't. If I had to choose between Carr and Ridder, my money would be on Carr, but at minus 225, I think we can both agree there's really no value there. And then Kyle Trask, 35-1. Yeah. So what caught your eye here?
Baker actually caught my eye, because I think here's a guy that's still playing for a contract, right? I know he's going to be, maybe that's going to be the rest of his career, jumping from team to team every season. But I think he needs to have a year so he can get another contract. And I think Tampa Bay is going to be trailing a lot. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. They still have some interesting pieces there as well. Again, they're not going to, the Saints, it's the Saints division to lose. Derek Carr should be the favorite, and that's why he's at minus money. But if I was going to sprinkle something, I would go with Baker, because I think we have seen, of all the things, we have seen what he can do when he has some weapons, and when he is on his game, and when he is healthy. I think that's the one thing, for as much as we like to trash Baker, he hasn't been healthy. You give him a healthy Baker Mayfield with some weapons and a team that's not going to be very good and is going to trail a lot, I think Baker's going to rack up some yards.
Indianapolis Colts have the worst record in the NFL. You can find that like 14-1, 15-1, depending on the book. And I think this is kind of an interesting one, even though they drafted Anthony Richardson. And while I think that his upside long-term is pretty high, the floor here is just dangerously low in year one. I know that they have Nick Sirianni, while Jalen Hurts ascended as a passer, and we've seen other mobile quarterbacks take a step forward. But usually that takes a little bit of time. Look at Josh Allen's rookie season, and he was not very good. It's like a 53% completion rate, a lot of interceptions. Justin Fields early on in the going was a far better passer in college than he was, and was still pretty bad in the early going. And those are some of the best case scenarios. You look at Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, et cetera. I mean, Richardson's going to get the start from week one. Their offensive line is middle of the pack. Their receivers are okay with Michael Pittman, and then Alex Pierce, Josh Downs. Jonathan Taylor, we have no idea. He came back and then left and is now back again, but is still not playing, is on the PUP. Jim Irsay just can't get out of his own way by saying, we literally don't need this guy. I mean, every week, someone just needs to shut that guy up. I mean, he's going out of his way to make sure that Jonathan Taylor doesn't come back. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely outrageous. And the defense here has been, I mean, they're going to be starting 3 rookie cornerbacks maybe, and it's crazy to me. So I think that they're just favored in 3 games this season, 15-1. Could be a great value here on this team.
I do still think the Ravens will be motivated to win, but I also think there's going to be a little extra oomph on the Commanders side this time.
Yeah, 24 straight preseason wins for the Baltimore Ravens. 2015 was the last time they lost a preseason game. 2015! And they're 19-4-1 against the spread. And that's after winning last week and not covering against the Eagles. What I've been hearing, Aaron, and you're a lot closer to the situation, is that Washington wants to break that streak. It's crazy that it's a preseason game, but if the talk among the locker room is that they're going to go out there and they want to beat them because of the rivalry. You know, they're kind of like the ex. You know, they're kind of like the ex in a relationship, and the Ravens are the shiny new thing, so to speak, in the market. They want to win the game and they want to pound them and break the streak. I don't think so. I think talent is still talent. I'll still take the Ravens laying the points.
I am so torn. I mean, at BetMGM, you can get Commanders money line at plus 110. But John Harbaugh's got an ego. If he's going to take an L and that streak comes to an end, he does not want it to happen against the Commanders. I don't care if it's just preseason. I think he really does care about this win streak no matter what he says.
I do like the Cleveland Cavaliers over 49.5 wins. Depending on where you're looking at it, I've seen 50.5 as well. This is a 50-plus win ballgame. Tons of motivation coming off of the playoff exit against the Knicks. They didn't play really well. They were favored in that series. They were supposed to take care of business. Donovan Mitchell, this is his first playoff appearance with the Cavaliers. They end up getting bounced by the Knicks, and a lot of people, including myself, believe they're overall a better team. But let's talk about what they did in the offseason. They added Max Strus, another shooter, another wing defender that's going to be good. They ordered George Niang. He's going to be another knockdown shooter. They re-signed LeVert. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen had bad playoff series against the Knicks. They have a lot of motivation coming into the year. Darius Garland was an all-star 2 years ago. Donovan Mitchell's second year with the Cavs. There's a lot of motivation for these guys to come in and make some noise, especially in the regular season. That's going to be the key for me. They're in the weakest division in the East and the Central. They got the Bucks, Bulls, Pacers, and Pistons. That's where they're going to play a bunch. Also, the key for me here is this reminds me of like the Bucks in like 18-19. So in 18-19, before the Bucks won the title, 60 wins, 56 wins, number one team in the East, took the regular season very seriously. When they won the title, they had 46 wins and were the third team in the East. So it's almost like, hey, we know we could win games in the regular season. That's what the Bucks were thinking. Let's make sure we're ready to and geared up to go into the playoffs and actually make a run for the title. I believe the Cavs are at that 2018-2019 Milwaukee Bucks stage where they're going to come in and try to get the number one, number two seed in the East. This is a 50-plus win team. I really like the Cavs coming into the year.